Students of class 11, welcome to the online tutorial sessions for economics. Today we are going to continue our third chapter of statistics, which is collection of data. In today's video we are going to continue our non-random sampling and its bifurcation. Now in the previous video we had completed the random sampling and its subdivisions, under which we studied the stratified random sampling, systematic random sampling, cluster sampling and multi-stage sampling. Now in today's video we are going to continue with the further bifurcation, which is we studied the random sampling. Now it's time for the non-random sampling. Under non-random sampling we already studied that it refers to a method in which selection of sample depends on the judgment of the investigator. It depends on the investigator how he sees or watches or assumes his universe or elements of his population. Now let's start with the random sampling. Now random sampling is divided into three further bifurcations. First one is judgment sampling, second is quota sampling, and third one is convenience sampling. Now let's start with the first one, which is judgment sampling, students. Now what is judgment sampling? Under which choice of selection of sample depends exclusively, means only investigator has the right to choose the sample on the judgment of investigator. I give you an example of first benchers, middle row benchers and back benchers. So if I am assuming that all the students are very bad, very indisciplined, very naughty, then I am going to make my sample from the first benchers, so that it becomes easier for me and there is no mess around in the class. So it depends on the judgment of the investigator how he selects the sample. Now that's the meaning. And merits, it is very simple and easy. I just go to the first state and take out my samples. And proper representation if investigator has full knowledge. Suppose I know that these students represent these qualities which I require, then it could have the merits. Now demerits, personal bias are always there. If you are selecting the non-random sampling, by non-random sampling there is a most probable chance of having personal bias, because it's based on the judgment of the investigator, right? So personal bias can be there, and due to personal bias is there can be error of judgment. Suppose I am assuming that this student is a good one, he studies a lot, but he is not that student. He was the backbencher who was sitting that day on the first seat. So there could be error of judgment. So this is your judgment sampling. Let's come to the second one, which is quota sampling. The second bifurcation was quota sampling. Now what is quota sampling? The items of population, all the items of the universe are divided into various groups, like the stratified random sampling, in which all the items of the universe were divided into certain stratas or groups. But here there is one more thing, and that thing is a quota is fixed. A quota is being fixed in this quota sampling, and it is also a special type of stratified sampling. It's a more advanced version of stratified sampling. Let's understand it with an example. Now this is my universe, this is my population, this is my elements of investigation. Now I divided them into certain groups according to the children are divided separately, all the ladies are separated, all the gents are separated, and all the senior citizens are separated. Now I am assigning a special quota that from children I want 40% of items, from ladies I need 20% of items, in gents also I need 20% of items, and from senior citizens I need 20% of items as my investigation population. Now that's how you do the quota sampling. You divide your items into certain groups and then you fix a quota like this, and then you take out 40% of children, 20% of ladies, 20% of gents and 20% of senior citizens, and then you can have your sample, and that's how you do the sampling under the quota sampling. Now merits, it is more reliable. It is more reliable because you have children, you have ladies, you have gents, you have all the type of elements you can have, and it's economical also because it saves time. And what are the demerits? It is personal bias. Suppose in ladies or in gents you can show your personal bias, and in the senior citizen or in the children you can show some type of personal bias. So this is your quota sampling. The next one is convenience sampling. Under the convenience sampling, while selecting samples, the investigator gives special attention to his convenience. He's a lazy fellow. Suppose this is that lazy fellow. This devil is a lazy fellow and he's being asked to bring the data from any random 3 schools from his city. Any data, any 3 schools from his city. Now, what he will do? Instead of going to the random schools, he is going to the schools which are nearest to him. That's why he is the lazy fellow. He is preferring his convenience, and he will visit to the 3 schools which are nearest to him, and he will left out these schools, and he will bring the data and he will make this investigation, and that will be done. And merits for this sampling is it's economical. He will save his time, he will save his petrol, he will save his time. So it's economical. Easy to command because these schools are nearest to him. That's why it's easier for him to, he can visit those places. He might know those persons who are running this school. So it will be easy for him to command. Demerits, personal bias because he is visiting these schools which are nearest to him. Maybe it's possible the data he need to recover is in these schools, not in these schools. So there will be some personal bias and the results will be unsatisfactory because these data has been brought not on a random basis but on the basis of his convenience. So that's your quota sampling and convenience sampling. So your non-random sampling is completed. Now let's come to the last topic for today's video. The next topic is sources of secondary data. Now there are 2 types of sources. First are published sources and the second is unpublished sources. Published sources are those sources which are being already uploaded, which have been already shown to the general public, which has already been released by someone. So those are the published sources. Now what are those? What are the examples of published sources? Now first of all, the official publications of state and central government. The state and central government usually publish their data or through magazines, through newspapers, through their TV channels like Doordarshan, through radio, through any other media. They publish their official data. Semi-government publications, under which the government and some private companies they are working together and they do some research work and they do some surveys, they do the sampling and they publish their data. In the third one, publications of research institutes like NCERT, they do their own research work and then they publish their work as NCERT does in its books. Next one, international publications, like these days WHO is giving guidelines and other samples and other surveys. So international publications like WHO, they give the data which is the published source. We can use it for the further investigation. Newspapers and magazines, they also sometimes do their own surveys which are published in their newspapers or under their magazines. So that can be also used as our sources of publication. Next one is unpublished sources. What are unpublished sources? When data collected by someone is not published anywhere. So suppose I have done some research work but I haven't uploaded those research work or I haven't released that work. It is kept with me safe and sound. That is not published for general public. For example, reports prepared by private investigation companies. Those detective companies, those secret agencies which do their research work and they do not publish that due to any reason. So those reports can be used as unpublished sources for our research work. Now students, today I am giving you homework to find out precautions and limitations of unpublished source. I don't know how to do that work, whether you investigate or do sample survey, go to your mom, go to your dad, go to your brother, sister, sibling, your enemy, your neighbor, I don't know. Go and get these data by tomorrow. So students, that's all for today's video. I hope you have understood all the topics which are covered today, and we'll definitely see you soon.